You can now connect Codex to Framer, unlocking brand new possibilities and workflows that were never possible before, using Framer's external agents. Today, I'm going to teach you everything you need to know to get set up and start using Codex and Framer together. Let's go. So we'll get started in 3 simple steps. 1, we'll install Codex on our device. 2, we'll connect to our Framer project, so when we prompt Codex, it will make the changes directly in Framer. And 3, we'll take a close look at Codex plugins that lets us integrate Framer with other tools to unlock brand new workflows. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is actually download the Codex desktop app, and it should look something like this. Now, the first thing we're going to do is make sure that we have a new chat, and we're going to go choose project, and we're going to go new project, and we're going to start from scratch. Now, this is basically going to create a new folder on our desktop, so we'll just call it our Framer connection, but you can call this whatever you like. And that's it. Now, this is like any other chatbot, but the difference is when I actually ask it to do something, it's essentially going to write code files to that folder. However, since we're actually connecting to Framer and we don't actually need to store any sort of code or anything locally, this is essentially just going to act as a blank folder, which is going to be our project hub for our Framer connection. By the way, if you want to become an AI-powered web designer, feel free to check out my Framer Agent Masterclass, where I'll teach you to skip the tedious work and be more profitable so you can ship websites faster for clients. You can find all the information down below. So next, what we need to do is actually connect Framer itself. So you need to go to framer.com/agents/external, and you'll kind of get all the sort of setup guides and information you need to actually get going. And what you want to do is actually copy the Codex prompt here. And all we're going to do is go back to Codex here, and we're just going to paste this in. And basically, it's a long prompt here, essentially going to install the Framer connection. Okay, so just like that, it's actually set up the Framer external agent on my device and also installed the Framer skill. So now if I go to the chatbot here and type /Framer, you can actually see that skill here. So we're actually going to select that skill, and now we're actually going to go to Framer. So here I have my Framer project. We're going to go up to the top right here, and we're going to copy the project link. And we're going to go back to Codex, and we're going to paste that in. And essentially what we're doing here is going to authenticate that our project can be reached by the Framer agent. So what's happened is it's opened a new tab in my browser asking for me to authorize this external agent. So I'm going to press on approve. And just like that, my agent now has access to that project. Okay, and as you can see, Codex has also confirmed that we've connected to that project. So now I can just ask it to do anything and it will do it in Framer. So let's ask it to change the headline of my hero section to be welcome to this tutorial. And it's essentially going to go ahead and complete that task. Now, by the way, one of the benefits of using Codex versus, say, Framer's inbuilt agent is not only can we connect other tools, but also we actually have more control over how the agent operates. In particular, the model that we're using, as well as the level of reasoning. So if we want to actually make Framer AI a lot more efficient and cheaper, because let's face it, Framer's inbuilt agent is quite expensive because they're paying for things and charging for things at cost, where the price of what, say, Codex charges is much, much less. So that's obviously one of the benefits, but the other benefit is the obviously control over the model that we use. And depending on the task that you're doing, you probably want to use a different model. But as you can see, it looks like it has changed the headline copy. And if we go to our project, we can see that has happened just like so. So that's great, but we can also just do that stuff directly inside of Framer using the inbuilt agent. But where Codex and Framer get really powerful is when we actually connect plugins. Now, plugins in Codex let us connect to the tools that we already use and love. So suddenly I can take an external tool, whether it be Notion, Google Docs, Gmail, something like that, and actually wire it through to Framer. Now, plugins are built in natively to Codex's marketplace, and we can install it in just one click. So what we can do is go to the top left panel here and click on plugins, and you can see all the different plugins that are available. So for example, we might want to give our agent access to our Gmail so it can say read emails and then actually apply certain content in my emails as tasks to be completed inside of my Framer project. You can just imagine the complete new world and workflows that have opened up now that we can actually connect all of these tools and automate tasks using the Framer agent with Codex. Now, there are some tools you can connect to agents, but may not be available inside of the plugin marketplace. Now, we can refer to these as MCP servers. Now, Codex does support MCP servers too, so if there is a tool that you know integrates with agents, but isn't available inside of the marketplace here, chances are you can just add it as an MCP server in Codex. Now, we won't cover exactly how to use an MCP server in this video, but if you are interested in the world of MCP servers for designers, let me know in the comments below. But let's actually demo how a plugin may work in action. So let's actually install the Notion plugin. So we're just going to go install, and then we're going to authenticate with Notion. So I'm just going to grant it access to my workspace here, and now that's connected. So now inside of my Framer connection project, what I could do is actually go to a Notion page or a database or literally any content in Notion. So for example, I have this database here with all these different cool design tools that I really want to try. And what I'm going to do is actually copy the link to this page itself. I'm going to go back to Codex and I'm going to paste in that link, and I'm going to ask it to create a collection in the CMS based on my database. So my hope is it's essentially going to extract the content and create a new collection inside of my Framer project with all of that content in Notion. Now, this is just one use case. There are a ton of different use cases that you may actually use, but I think this is a practical way to just take content from an outside source and then bring that inside of Framer using agents or Codex as the middleman. Okay, so it looks like it has now created our collection. So let's go back to Framer and let's head to the CMS. And voila, there we go. We now have all of our content properly imported, which is pretty crazy when you think about it, and you can just start to imagine all the new possibilities that are now possible thanks to Codex and Framer. But that's how you can set up both Codex and Framer together. If you enjoyed this video and you want more Framer tutorials just like it, consider subscribing to the channel because we put out new videos every single week. And if you want to master Framer agents so you can ship faster, skip the tedious work, and be more profitable, feel free to check out my Framer Agent Masterclass. You can find all the information down below. But until next time, I'll catch you later.